Well, they differ from town to town. I was just in Los Angeles. Saw a lot of Toms on the feet. Tight jeans are always big. Tight pants are always big. Hipsters never wear baggy clothing. All the way back to Kerouac.
Well dressed. I mean, they don't look sloppy. They are clean, have nice clothes, but it's definitely like, I guess some people would say like the plaid shirts on guys or even girls, cowboy boots, tight jeans, but there's definitely like a variance of style in it.
A way of being trendy, yet you don't look like you're being trendy. You're kind of casual. I mean, wearing certain items out of season, being ironic, things like that.
The 1981 edition of Webster's New World Dictionary defines hipster as a hip person or a beatnik.
I think it means maybe like an emo person, but with more colorful clothing. Maybe a sweater vest and a bow tie, thick rimmed glasses, the square ones, and maybe a clever nickname or something. Interest in music. Smokes marijuana.
It's more of a play on taste to me, and it's a thing where you are culturally conscious of what you're listening to and also appreciate the fashion that is involved with that style of music.
Hipster to me just means, somebody that's in the scene, and maybe the music scene.
You look at Vampire Weekend, that's hipster. You look at, Boat from Seattle, and that's like somebody nobody knows about, and that's even more hipster. Like it's just one of those things that it's such a revolving cycle that hipster has become like the same way that like describing something that's alternative is. It's like it's not really worth saying. It's a joke, and it's fun to say, hey, we're having a hipster dance party. You can play anything in a hipster dance party. It's really true.
When I was living in Portland, I used to go to this thing called Juicy Crew all the time. There's essentially 3 years ago is what Dead Hipster is now, just like this huge conglomerate of different people, like gay kids, frat kids, hip hoppers, indie rockers, and it makes even more sense now that it's called Dead Hipster, because kind of the idea of the hipster is starting to die in a lot of ways.
I think that if you ask any hipster about their tattoos, they will either tell you that it's purely for some aesthetic reason, or they'll tell you this really deep story about like a lyric from a song or a line from a book and how it touched them.
I think it's just trend and what's popular at the moment. I mean, sometimes, a lot of I think a lot of hipsters get like music lyrics, that's a pretty typical thing for hipsters to get, in some kind of tricky way maybe sometimes that has like, some, only meaning to them, but, a lot of it has meaning, but a lot of times it's just along the lines of what everybody else is getting. Maybe they're trying to be original, or maybe they are being original, but in a week everybody else will have the same tattoo,
Everyone wants to be a hipster, but no one wants to be labeled as a hipster. I think that's the crutch of hipsterdom, is that to be a hipster is great, but to be called a hipster is offensive. I think that so many people take offense to being called a hipster when they're proud to act out every aspect of being a hipster. I personally don't consider myself a hipster, though I know that there are certainly people who would lump me into that group.
I personally wouldn't consider myself a hipster, but I know other people would.
That's a tough thing to say. Am I a hipster? I don't know.
I would say, sure, why not? I mean, I don't know what else I would call myself. Dude, nerd, more of a nerd than anything.
Maybe I'm more like, I don't want to say it, but like fashionista, like dress down fashionista, to be not if I wasn't considered hipster? I don't really know how to answer that question.
I would say probably not, because I can't wear skinny jeans. I don't really have the body for it.
I don't think that whether one is a hipster is for the individual to decide.